Alright, so I wanted to do like a journey video, I guess, of my car, like what all it's been through and all the different stages it's been in, and how I got it and how it is now, because I took pictures and videos and stuff. Alright, so the beginning of summer, right after school ended, in 2022, I asked a buddy who had an Integra if he knew where I could get one, and he texted one of his Honda friends, I guess, and this dude had one, and it's this one. So we went to go look at it that day, and it had a big rust hole, I guess, from where the tire sits in the trunk, so we had to weld that in before I could buy it. So I just paid him $200 up front to hold it for me. I didn't drive it, I didn't do nothing with it. I don't even think I heard it crank up. He just said it crunk up, and it drove good. He put a motor in it, and that's all he knew about it, he said. So I gave him $200 to hold it for me. And then I saved up all summer working with my dad, and I still didn't have enough at the end of the summer. I had to get some money from some people, and I went to the shop where it was at, and I paid $1,500 for it. Drove it home, and whenever I got home, the front end was smoking. I had no idea what it was, so we just parked it and had it on blocks for a while, and we couldn't see what was wrong with it visually, so I drove it again, and it was the brakes. This is them locking up. This was a problem for a long time. They just kept locking up. This is I think this is actually the first time they locked up. I got it towed because I didn't know what to do. I didn't think that was gonna ease up or nothing. So we got calipers. That's the first thing we did. We put those on, and this is actually the drive after, and they locked up again. And after they locked up, we figured out if you just let it sit for like an hour or two, they would unlock and you could drive it again. Alright, so you can see like the fender I took off, and I took off this rear piece, and I drove it around like that for a while. This is after I took it off, and I also got a CV axle I put in, and this is the first sticker I added. This is the second Integra we got. I put the black interior and the mirror, a mirror and some other stuff, and that was about it from this Integra. This is whenever I first started sanding it. I got a Type R lip, and I sanded the car, and it looked like this for a while. And this is like the first mechanic work I really did to it. If you look, the rocker arm came off of the top of the valve spring. So that was the first like mechanic thing I did to it. I had to put the rocker arm back on top of the valve spring. And this is the Integra next to my dad's Ranchero. Alright, so I got some parts for it, the muffler and the CV axle, and I put those stickers on. Alright, then I started messing with the radio and the audio because I wanted to have like a louder Integra. I wired the radio in, and then I did the subs. Alright, so I got some more parts. I got these tinted tail lights, and I got the speakers for my deck lid, and I put those all in at the same time. And this is my spoiler I got. And this right here is when I did all my brake lines for my brakes. And they were still locking up after this. Alright, so these are the wheels I got from the junkyard. And this is actually right when I got it out the shop for my brakes. They figured it out. And the problem was the brake pedal adjustment screw, for your brake pedal, that it was too tight. So that was the problem was. And this is me driving it home. And when I got home, I put on the wheels and I immediately started painting it. So I just got my car out the shop and I had my license, so I wanted to make it look somewhat good, drivable, and I painted it pretty quick, and I got all the parts I had and I was putting them all on. I put the muffler on and then I put the coilovers on. And whenever I got the car, the driver's side door handle was broke, and I read a lot of forums on Facebook and stuff, and I figured out you can put a Civic door handle on an Integra, so I'll do a video on that later. So around this time is when my car kept overheating, and I couldn't figure out the problem, and then I put on this 98 to 01 front end on, and like a week, I don't even think it was a week, like a couple days after I put this on, my water pump went bad and I blew a head gasket. And this is the water pump. If you can hear the noise, that's how it sounds when all the teeth go bad. And water was just pouring out from the seal. Alright, so this is when I started painting her from gray to black, so I could match the bumper. And I started off with the front end, and then I did the rest of the car. And this was like right after I got out the shop for the head gasket. This is when I drove her to cruising the coast, and I saw a lot of cool cars, and this was probably the furthest trip I've ever took my car on. It was like 100 miles. And at this point, I was living with my sister, and I had nothing to do, so I started taking everything off. I took off agency, AC, evap, power steering, and all that, and I was living in Foley for maybe 3 months with her. And also, when I was over there, I did my door panels. I put the super tweeters in. And whenever I came back down to where I live, I wired in these horns, and I also wired in these lights, because it was really ugly right there where the thing is missing out the bumper. And this is when I tore the new bumper up, and I had to go back to the 94 to 97 front end. And all this is fairly recent. I've uploaded videos on all of this. I moved back in with my girlfriend, and this is just real recent stuff of me painting it and all the stuff I've done in like the past month. Alright, so that's definitely not like everything that's been done to it. I can't really think of everything. It don't really sound like that much in the video. But yeah, I just wanted to do a video of like the story of how I got her, and I guess the gist of everything I've done to it, which really ain't that much, because I've only had her like a year and a half, 2 years. And I know she's not like nowhere near done, so I'll probably do another one of these whenever she's actually where I want her to be and actually clean and looks good and sounds good and has good paint. But I think for a year and a half or 2 years, I think she turned out pretty good. So yeah, that's it.
All I gotta do is drop the dot on you and they gon' blish. They come sliding through, hop out masked up, they go them killers. And I cannot wait, put they brand new stick on a gorilla. Since they wanna hate, keep on killing, blow this shit up big. I could demonstrate how to blow the top up off a nigga. Say he heavyweight, but if he ain't killing, I don't feel him. Make it escalate, get the beat turned way up to the ceiling. I bet they gon' say, when he went out, he took everything